Hi, and welcome to Trivial 10. My name is Jordan, and this month I am joined by some very special guests. There is my sister Grace and my brother-in-law Thomas.
Hi.
And we are here in Phoenix, Arizona, apparently very close to Scottsdale. You can't really see behind us, but like there's some wonderful mountains coming up out of the desert. It's absolutely beautiful. It is, I think, when I checked last, 49 degrees here. So it's January in Phoenix. So
only chilly for us. So.
Yeah, a little chilly for us, obviously, because we all have beanies on inside. So we might start a small fire later. I don't know. We'll see. But they are joining me. We are going to talk about this week 10 trivial facts about Phoenix and Arizona and the general area. And we're going to go out for a couple hikes while we're here. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll add some of that footage in here as well. But they have brought some very trivial facts about this area. So if you guys want to go ahead and start with one, let's do it.
Yeah, let's start us off. So basically, Arizona does not follow the daylight savings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's Also, that's Hawaii, and then
Those are the only two states.
yeah. So like whenever like you guys
Arizona.
are like 2 hours ahead of us, we're just like nah, we didn't have to change our sleeping schedule or anything.
No, that's right. I've experienced that, like trying to figure out if I can call you or text you at a certain time, because I'm like, depending on the time of the year, you're either 2 hours ahead of me or behind me or 1 hour behind me.
Yeah.
So what is it actually? In the winter, you're on mountain time, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. But in the summer, you're on Pacific time.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I have it figured out.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, I deal with that every work call I do to Texas.
Oh, wow.
You have to remember, I do everything Central Time. Just 'cause
Thankfully, it's
too
not that
complicated.
bad.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it's not too far off. Like Hawaii is actually 6 hours behind Central Time, right?
Yeah.
So that would be, I think, a little bit more significant. So that is very trivial. Thank you.
Trivial.
All right, we'll come in with number 2. So we have a waterfall here called Chocolate Falls.
Ooh.
And it's actually taller than Niagara Falls, located over by Flagstaff.
Yeah.
It has brown water. It's very wide, has a high volume. But, as much as that's advertised, when I looked this up, it's actually still not even the tallest waterfall in Arizona. We have one in the Grand Canyon called Chevisu Falls, and that is 800 feet tall, which is more than twice the height of Niagara Falls.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
I thought
amazing.
I thought Niagara Falls was a lot bigger, but I've never been, so.
Yeah, it's, you think about how tall the Grand Canyon is.
Yeah.
That's just...
It's a mile deep, right?
Yeah, so it can travel a long distance.
Wow. No, that's really cool. Like, I guess Niagara is so popular because it's right on the border of U.S. and Canada. There's a lot more people there. But yeah, that's really cool. So Chocolate Falls, you said, how far is it from Phoenix? You say it's...
So Chocolate Falls is Flagstaff, so that's like 2 hours from where we are right now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe, and then obviously the Grand Canyon's probably 3.5.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you think about if it's a mile deep is what, 5,000 feet?
Yeah.
That's only 800 feet of that waterfall.
That's a small portion of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it just keeps on going from there.
Yeah.
Okay, because when you said Chocolate Falls and brown water and Flagstaff, I was wondering if we were talking about a sewage system. But why is it brown?
Oh, it's just because of the dirt. So it gets melted snow comes rushing down.
Yeah.
With all the rain. And it's just a brown waterfall.
So it's not poop.
No.
That's good. That's good to know.
That'd be a terrible tourist attraction, that's for sure.
I mean, it's called Chocolate Falls.
Yeah. That's awesome. It kind of reminds me of Wonka.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
All right.
Let's see. The saguaro cactus is only in the Sonoran Desert, which is a little bit part of Mexico and Arizona.
And this is number 3?
Yeah.
The saguaro? Okay,
saguaro
gotcha.
cactus. But yeah, you only see them in the Sonoran Desert, and you don't see them in any other part of the world.
Yeah.
But it takes them about 75 years to grow one arm.
The ones that are like...
So to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically like this.
Like this guy.
Yeah, so that one looks like he's about, probably 75, maybe a little more years old. He's got 2 arms.
So he's got the second arm.
Yep.
That's crazy. 75 years. That's a human lifetime to grow one arm.
Yep.
So you guys, you were showing me some pictures, and I'm going to put some right now so you can see the ones that are kind of like knotted up with like a dozen
Yeah.
arms.
Uh-huh.
Those are a few hundred years old. Then?
I would think so, at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are insane. So like, look at these pictures, and they are knotted up, and
Gnarly.
There's a certain genetic defect. It's like 1 out of 1,000 or something has where it looks like a big flower explosion at the top too of it.
oh, I'm gonna put a picture of that here.
mutation.
Yeah.
And
So
then
look at that one too.
Also, it's illegal to cut down those here. Like, if they
Oh,
catch
wow.
you, like, cutting down a saguaro cactus, that is technically against the law.
So we have activists here we call cactus huggers rather than tree huggers. And I remember as a kid, we had a 30-footer in our backyard that collapsed because it was dead. And it was illegal for us to just get rid of it. We had to get government approval, and then these people had to come and chop it up and do this whole thing.
Did they do a weird like ritual with it? Probably.
Like, they probably did when they took it elsewhere.
Yeah.
They were like, it was a whole thing. And it's very hard to dispose of anyway. They are very, very dense and heavy. They have all that nutritional stuff
Oh yeah,
to survive.
the root system and everything to survive a desert.
Yes.
Because how hot does it get here in the summer?
Very hot. We'll touch on that on another.
Excellent. Okay, some suspense. Excellent. Okay, cool. So it's the saguaro cactus,
Yeah.
It's also our state plant.
and it's only found in the northern northern
like
Mexican desert and Arizona.
I believe,
it's-
yeah, Sonoran Desert.
Like probably 80% of the desert, I feel like, is here in Arizona. There's
Oh, okay.
it spills a little bit into California and Mexico.
Okay.
But it's funny because you look at other forms of media where the desert is supposedly Saudi Arabia, or even you play like a Mario game.
Yeah.
That cactus is always there. That's like.
You're right. It is the like stereotypical cactus.
Yes.
Cacti.
Cacti.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
awesome.
time.
Very cool.
Yep. Anyway, so I guess we'll move to number 4 here. We'll go to a weird law one here. So we have a county called Mojave County. This is northwest of us. And if you steal a bar of soap, you have to publicly wash yourself with it until it is completely used up. I wanted to find the weirdest law here, and that was
Do you know when that was?
Oh, it's still a thing.
It's still in effect.
Yes.
Now, I have to ask, did you discover this because it happened to you? Or did you read this? You did find this.
I just read it.
Oh, okay, good.
That would have been bad. And like when I read it, they were pointing out like soap lasts longer now than when it first went into effect. So it's like,
Oh, so 1 or 2 uses in this guy would be
Yeah.
out of the public eye.
yes.
At least
Or
you
girl.
come out of it cleaner than ever.
Right, absolutely. That's weird. You wonder where that originated. Like, who was going around? Like, it must have been a problem.
Yes.
It had to have been a problem. That's why there's laws, right? There was an issue and they had to fix it. So there was a guy that was stealing soap in
Yeah.
Mojave County,
Yeah.
Arizona. Interesting.
So,
That
you know.
is definitely trivial also. You were really bringing them this week, you guys. That's awesome.
Excellent. Love to hear it. You want to hit number 5?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna go on. So we have a city called Havasu, and it is-
Havasu?
Havasu.
Lake Havasu.
Lake Havasu.
Lake Havasu. Okay.
It's literally like 4 hours like northwest, right?
It's close
so
to
it's
Vegas.
closer to like
Yeah.
Vegas and California, but they have taken the London Bridge, like literally like. They purchased it. I don't remember what year it was, but they literally brought all the bricks that was in literally London, the London
Yeah.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Literally built it in Havasu. Like you can walk on it. It's
Wow.
yeah, across the lake.
So like the London Bridge.
Yes.
From
The-
England
yes,
to Arizona.
yes.
That is so
It's
weird.
so weird. Yeah.
We can't see it on this trip, but because you said it's like 4.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it. That would
But
be,
it's
that's not even a
pretty
day
crazy.
trip.
But yeah, it's also like the whole town is like kind of like literally like a lake town. So it's like water. So,
What?
but they have like, it's still pretty hot, but it's really cool.
Is
I
it
think
artificial? Everything there's artificial lakes,
think-
right?
I think so.
Because it's northwest
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no natural lakes out here at all,
I don't
right?
think so. I feel like too, like, isn't there only like a certain amount of actual natural lakes? Like, it's mostly in the world or like man-made lakes.
Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
reservoirs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
like even
oh.
in Texas, there is one actual natural lake in Jefferson City, I think, or Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
Texas. It's far east, like almost Louisiana, but every other lake
It's
is just
man-made,
some a low-lying area that was flooded.
No wonder it's dirty.
Yeah, it has trees in it.
Yeah.
And some of them have old towns or settlements that are at the bottom of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is probably the case here
Yeah,
too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel good on that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you know that if you go and visit that London Bridge, every brick has a number on it? That was the other thing I was going to say, because that was how they had to disassemble the entire thing and
Whoa,
rebuild.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
you,
you-
don't just ship it over here.
No,
Yeah.
You got
build
to
it.
completely disassemble it. Okay. So do y'all know like how long it's been there? Does it cost money to cross this? Like
No,
who
it's-
bought it?
Well, we crossed it. It's free to visit.
Yeah.
It was meant specifically as a tourist attraction when the mayor was building the town. I don't know what year it was. I should have looked that up.
Oh, our little guest is here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wesley's here. Their cat. He's a ragdoll,
Ragdoll.
We have a ragdoll cat.
and he is a handsome cat and well taken care of. But he may pop up at some point. But yeah, just say hello. He's part of the scenery.
Well, I'll come in with number 6. You know, one of the culture shocks that was funny to me moving to Texas from here was the counties. And Arizona, on average, has the largest counties of any state in the union.
Oh, okay.
So we have only, you think about, in comparison, I imagine a lot of your trivial lights are from Texas.
There's some from Germany.
Oh, excellent.
Which is bizarre, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So we, we're half the landmass of Texas, and there are. This kind of gives context to some of the other stats we give throughout this.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't want to wait too long to give it. But there's only 15 counties compared to Arizona, or Texas has 200 something.
Yeah, it's like 260 or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we only have
15?
Yes.
So they're massive.
Yes.
Wow.
The one we're in right now is called Maricopa. That used to be the largest. And you look at like our elections for sheriff are a thing that are like.
Oh, it's nationally known.
Yes, that's why it's a bigger deal. Is like you really are a politician over a lot.
Got a huge area to govern.
Yeah.
You think about like the Dallas-Fort Worth area. To me, like in my brain, I was like, oh, that's got to be a county when I moved, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
that is many counties. If you took like Germany, if you had like Dortmund and Berlin was a county. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I have no idea about any of that. I know what Berlin is, but yeah, we'll have to expound on that in another episode.
Yes. So I know a little bit of Germany from my being a big soccer fan.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just, that's an interesting thing of it. It affects a lot of laws. We texted one of our friends. We're like, we're in our home county. And they said, welcome home. And we're like, we're 120 miles from home still.
Wow.
When we drove from California. So
Yeah.
big counties.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to hit number 7?
Yeah. Adding on to the Havasu fact. So Flagstaff, which you've been before.
Yes, I have one time.
It's kind of like the Denver of Arizona,
Very snowy.
and very high elevation mountains.
Which, can I add really quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely unexpected. Before, okay, so just backstory. Thomas is originally from here. They moved here a few years back. And so we've come back. Now, this is our second time here. But when I thought of Arizona my entire life, it was always flat and saguaro
Desert.
cactus, or saguaro. Saguaro cactus. The cactus, this one. And then I get here and I'm like, this is such a dynamic landscape. It's incredible. But when you get up to Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon, you're like, holy crap, this is like almost, you go up into alpine areas.
Yeah.
It is so,
Literally
the elevation is
trees.
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ponderosa pines and all that stuff.
I think what's crazy is literally Flagstaff to Havasu is only 3 hours, and it's just such different. You can be 3 hours from a totally different world.
So
You're right.
That
Yeah.
gets advertised for tourists as you can ski and go to the beach in the same day because they are 3 hours apart. An actual
From from where to?
the Flagstaff to Lake Havasu. We've been to that. There's a
Oh,
beach.
wow. Because the lake. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So
okay.
they have like a really big, they made a big beach. They imported all the sand and they put it all up there. So, and it's one
Wow.
of the hottest cities here. And then it's 3 hours from Flagstaff, which is,
So you can go ski. And that's like California.
yeah, exactly.
Water ski and snow ski in the same day.
Yes.
That's pretty insane, man.
You could also water ski in Lake Havasu as well. So
Wow.
that was sort of I wanted to get a fact in there that kind of demonstrated the ecological diversity of Arizona.
Yeah.
And it's, and there's many other types of things. It feels like every direction we go, every 1 or 2 hours, it's like a totally different landscape, different plants. You know, the saguaro's cactus is so prevalent and dense here, and you just drive a short distance and then it's no more. You know?
Right, there's a cutoff.
Yes.
Yeah, and then from some of the areas, from what you guys have told me, there is areas of Arizona that look like the cartoons where, you know, what is it? Wile E. Coyote
Yes.
is chasing the Roadrunner.
Exactly.
There are areas like that that are flat and dry.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's just one aspect of Arizona, which is why I've really come to love the state. So, yeah, that's
It's
really
been
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess it's actually my turn now again. So we're going to do number 8. So this Arizona, you know, is close to Hollywood, close to California.
Yeah.
We get used a lot to film movies in space, like Mars and stuff. The one you'll
right.
probably most famously know, the original Tatooine of Star Wars was filmed right here in Arizona.
No way.
George Lucas needed a big flat sand dune, so he went to Yuma, which is south of here.
Arizona. Okay.
It's big flat dunes, and that was actually why he originally did a green lightsaber. It was the blue sky and the white sand. It was so bright he needed a color with more contrast.
Oh, wow.
He had no plans of there ever being a good guy saber other than blue until they filmed with him having an actual saber.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's the origination of the color. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yuma. So is that almost Mexican border?
Yes, it
Okay.
actually touches the Mexican border.
Oh, wow. So it's a border town.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a big area. It's not just a little. I think there are multiple towns in there, but it's a big white dunes. That's more of your stereotypical kind of desert.
Gotcha. And how far is that from Phoenix area?
We could
At
get.
least 3 hours.
Yeah, probably.
So you can get anywhere in Arizona in 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours, I feel like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, I remember when I was growing up as a kid, my parents were warning me to not do something dangerous. And that was that the kids, they would tie a mattress to the back of their trucks and go drive around Yuma. So it was mattress skiing.
Over the dunes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
They were the smart folks.
Yes, they
Yes.
said they had a fun time, but I have still never experienced riding a mattress across the desert. So
God, you were so deprived.
I know.
So sorry.
never got to do that as a 12-year-old.
Hey, you're not dead yet.
That's true.
It's only 3 hours away. So.
There's still time.
There is still time.
All right, you want to hit
Yeah.
number 9?
So we kind of touched a little bit that the Grand Canyon is in North Arizona as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know this until a few years ago, but it is one of the 7 wonders of the world.
The Grand Canyon
Yeah.
is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Wow. Okay. That makes
but
sense
I believe
to
it
me.
though. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's huge. Like it would take literally days to go around the whole entire rim of it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's crazy to think that you can go see that in a day because you can't. And we
Yeah.
tried.
And
And,
even
you're
you-
like, you feel like you've lost something.
Yeah, and you look out and you're like, oh, my eyes are not really adjusting.
Yeah.
Like, your brain is like, what is this?
You can't comprehend how far across it is.
Yeah.
And the elevation difference is from the south rim to the north rim. I think it's 1,000 feet higher.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
look like it looks like you're looking straight across, but it's 1,000 feet difference. And you're like,
That's
holy
crazy.
crap, how is that possible? And the wildlife over on that end is completely different to the south end. And then down in the middle, like we went in January because we're brilliant. And that's when my birthday is. So that's when I got to come out here. But it was completely covered in snow. So in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how this little flat area where you drive up to a giant hole and look down, which is not at all what it is.
Yeah.
Because you have to go up to the highest elevation to get there. And you look in the middle of this thing, covered with snow around the side, in the bottom, completely red and brown.
Yep.
And then the Colorado's down there, and you're like looking at binoculars, and it's just this
And
tiny
people
little
go down
snaking
there,
thing.
They hike down there, and
Yes.
you can use a boat on the river down there. So
Yep.
there's lots you can do.
But you could spend a week or 2 weeks
Yeah,
doing all of
absolutely.
that stuff. But like the thing that I thought might be cool, and then actually looking at it, was the mule down to the bottom.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know at this point if that's something
Poor
I would
mule.
want to do.
Poor mule.
Yeah, poor mule. Apparently they love it. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to interview a mule and see.
Get the facts.
Yeah, get the facts.
It's a whole nother world, the top and the bottom. Just
Yeah.
the views, it blows my mind. There's like plant life and like little creeks at the bottom.
Yeah.
Running across, and you're like, a big waterfall. That was one of our other.
Yeah, that drops 800 feet.
Yes.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
I probably would have learned had I stayed more than 4 hours. Because you got to spend more time. And we were going to do the helicopter,
Yes.
but the wind was insane. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable. And like the week before we left, they were like, helicopter went down in high winds. And we were like,
Yeah.
I think we're going to skip it this time.
Yeah.
But they do helicopters and planes over the canyon. It seems amazing.
It's hard to hike because it's such a high elevation. You run out of breath.
You're already adjusting to that. Yeah.
Even living high elevation, it's still.
I remember when
Oh,
our
okay.
first, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I remember the first time we went, and yeah, even just walking up the small amount of stairs just to go up and down just to get a better look, I was like,
Yeah.
I was
Makes
like,
me feel
"God,
old.
this should not be like running out of breath right now.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
That makes sense.
So we're on fact number 10.
Are we already at 10?
We're already at 10. So
Man.
we're making good time here. I thought I was going to ramble a lot more, but
No, this has been only the facts.
yeah, only the
And
facts.
some interesting stuff.
So coming in at number 10, Arizona is hot. I don't know if you knew this.
No.
So we'll expand.
Toaster oven.
We'll expand upon this a little more, actually.
Yeah.
I'll kick things off. So, recently we had a very hot summer here in the United States. Texas got hit as well.
Yep.
We called it the heat dome. July 2023, Phoenix as a city broke the record for the hottest month by any city in North America ever.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was for any city with at least 1,000 people being the bare minimum. But it was averaging, and this is in Fahrenheit, in freedom units.
America.
It was our average, this isn't the high, it's just the average temperature was 102.7
102.7 for not 2023.
for July 2020.
For July of 23. Wow.
We
That's
hit-
freaking hot.
We had, 54, we had 54 days with a high above 110 degrees.
And the door just opened.
And our cat.
Sorry, intermission.
I say, tell me about the cat's interesting guilty pleasure.
He likes to go outside now and roll in the dirt, and now he's all dirty.
He just wandered outside.
I was like, why did the door open?
Sorry.
Anyways,
So that was the average. So what was the high?
so we had 54 days where the high was above 110 consecutively.
I thought you were going to say above 100.
No, above 110.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was very, very hot. And, just to give context to that, Dallas's record, the city of Dallas, in August of 2011, had an average temperature of 94.4, which was one of the hottest. It's up there. Of one of the hottest of a city. So, Phoenix is pretty hot. It's the second driest state behind Nevada, so you're at least not sweating as much.
Yeah.
It's
dry. That was
You
the
need to
thing.
drink your water, though.
Yeah, a lot of people get heat stroke because they think they're not sweating. You don't have to drink water when you're out and about. Your body still needs water when it's.
It's
Oh my gosh, yeah.
evaporating really quickly.
Oh, and you just don't notice it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
I mean, if it's hot, you'll notice your.
That was the thing that blew my mind was we moved here. I did a jog right over there in a park. And, I got sweaty, and then I slowed down from a run to a walk where it got shady. And the breeze came in, and I just dried off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to just stay wet till I'm home, I thought.
Yeah. Take a shower and then be done with it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
humidity in Texas, like you take a shower and then immediately you get out and you're like, oh, I'm still
I'm sweating
moist.
again. Yes, yes. Yes, it is quite humid there. It is very dry here, right?
Yeah.
That's that's the whole point. That's what causes that, right?
Yes, it's Nevada's the only state drier. That's your fun fact within the fun fact.
Ah.
Second driest state. So
Inception.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a very warm state. We have tourists we call snowbirds because they if you live in a colder state, you buy property here and you escape your cold winters. You
I talk to them all day in my line of business.
Yeah.
They call me, and what I found is a lot of them are from Minnesota and Wisconsin, and they will have two addresses, one in Madison and one in Scottsdale or Peoria or Tempe or Williams, and you're like, hey, These are snowbirds.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
It makes it a very popular tourist destination. You know,
Yeah.
you just mentioned Scottsdale. We're the #2 bachelorette party.
Yes,
I
you were
think
talking
that's-
about that
Yes.
earlier.
Swag.
So I think that's probably a good part of it. You'd probably rather escape if you're getting married in the winter.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, probably you'd rather go walk around where it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah, or Chicago or any of those places. Yeah, and you're like, okay, I've got to get married in the cold, but at least I can get away. And then getting in and out of Sky Harbor, the international airport here, is like, it's a breeze.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
will,
easy.
DFW is scary.
It is a city unto itself. It's 10 miles from the southern border to the northern border of DFW. It's 10 miles.
Of an airport.
It's crazy. People will cut through the airport to get to other places. Like, it's that type of size, which it is. I think it's a busier airport.
Yeah.
But this is probably a pretty busy airport, but it's designed really well.
Yeah.
It's city central, which is different with DFW because it's Dallas-Fort Worth and you have it right in the middle. But Phoenix, it's just southeast or just east of downtown. So super convenient. And the way that it's laid out, and I'll just say this, like we were talking about this, is when you're flying in, we were flying in at night, and there's patches of dark, and you can actually see when you're coming into the city, where DFW kind of sprawls out in a weird way. Like you see the city an hour before you get in.
Yeah.
But it's like well-defined where the city actually is and where it starts. And I'm guessing after we got here, you were talking about what I was seeing. Those patches were probably the little mountains. Let's say little. You were telling me this one behind us is 5,000 feet. But that's what I was seeing as we were flying over some of these mountains as we were coming through.
And it's not as dense, I would say, as some parts of Texas. So sometimes if we do a hike later, you might look at a high point and just see here's where the buildings just stopped.
Yeah.
And
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like designated, this is wilderness,
Yes.
and this is where people live.
It's, everything's very new here because no one wanted to live here before the invention of the air conditioning.
That makes total sense to me.
And it technically was invented in 1912, but this is almost like another trivial fact.
Yeah, bring it. Bonus.
But,
Extra. Was that like... What was that show?
I don't know.
Was it Extra?
I think so.
Yeah, it was just called Extra. I'm so sorry,
I don't know. It just popped in my brain. I was like, oh.
Extra. I love that. No, but the air conditioning really became more popular in 1950s and 60s when you could put it in a home.
Yeah.
And that's really when this area blew up. So a lot of stuff's very new here.
Uh-huh.
A lot of stuff is like, it's more modern. A lot of people didn't live here before. So, like the self-driving Ubers now, the Waymos, it's like this is one of the first places a lot of technologies get introduced.
Well, weren't you talking about the grid here? Like the way the
It's
roads are
made-
laid out?
Yes, it's a really advanced road system, so you can get to places a lot faster around here.
I don't know if y'all heard that. My wife just sneezed in the background.
Bless you.
God bless you, my lady. Anyway, so anything else that the good people internationally,
Yes.
our trivialites internationally need to know about Arizona? Like, what would you say? Like, if you come here to the Phoenix area, what do you have to see? And then we'll close with that.
Ooh. Obviously, if you're into hiking.
Sorry, put you on the spot.
No, if you're into
Oh,
hiking,
hiking is great. Mhm.
obviously
is
the
great.
mountain views is really good. I think even just driving, if you're not into like exercise, just the driving from point A to point B is a big.
Yeah.
You get to see
Yeah, you
like.
can drive 3 hours and see like almost everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Grand Canyon's one that's popular. Camelback Mountain's the one that's popular. I think it's really over a period of time you get to see the diversity of it all, of the temperatures. The cooler months, like it's really nice right now. And then I have a shirt from doing an outdoor field day at school where I survived 104 degrees.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
The fire department came off and hosed us all.
That's hilarious.
like 8 months out of the year, it is really nice. It's just the summers are pretty
brutal.
terrible.
Yeah. I mean, they are in Texas too.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But I know they're not as bad as here. I'm
I,
not
like,
trying to
compare
take
it-
that away.
Yeah, like
Here,
here,
summers
Texas
are worse.
is like a sauna.
Yeah.
That is where here is like literally like you're an Eggo waffle and a toaster.
An Eggo waffle in a toaster. And with that, we will close.
Yeah.
We are here in Phoenix. Come see it. Arizona is a beautiful state. I think it's undersold. Like, people need to know this is an awesome state, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. And I'm looking
glad
forward to
you're
our
here.
hikes. Thank you. It's so glad to be here, and so many cool like restaurants and people from everywhere here. And like I said, the landscape is absolutely gorgeous. So come out to Arizona, fly into Phoenix or Tucson. Good job, Hyundai, choosing those names for the. Isn't there a Santa Fe and a Tucson? That's what it is. I should probably cut
Maybe
that
not
part because
Tucson,
now
Chris.
I am rambling. But thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on Trivial 10. We're doing gun fingers, I think.
Yes.
All right. Bye, y'all.